Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill with episode 43 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. Glad to have you here. Want to first of all say thanks for all of the interest in last week's episode. It was really cool to see so many people excited about potentially learning more about Barnhart Black Pastel and High Orange Dream, and we'll keep giving you information about those and bringing up other things like that you all seem to be interested in. It's nice to know there's more reptile genetics nerds out there. Want to nerd out on this stuff. As always, to begin with, we wanted to talk about sample updates. So just yesterday, we sent out a bunch more fast test results. And like we said, those are going out all the time. So thank you once again to all of you that are supporting us and ordering tests. And I think that a lot of people are much happier with that fast turnaround. And then the big run that I'm doing right now, it's getting sequenced as we speak, as I'm recording this in the afternoon on Wednesday. So I'll get results probably tomorrow afternoon. So things got slowed down a little bit with the run this week. So since I'll get the results tomorrow, it will probably be Friday, Saturday, Sunday that results will be going out after I analyze it and we get them uploaded and everything. So it's a little slower than what I originally thought, but you can look this weekend to have, like if you have a panel or one of the tests that's not a fast test, all that's coming this weekend. So, but yeah, with that, Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I think I just realized why I've been so sniffly today and sneezy. This is unrelated to snake things, but I think it's funny enough. My cat likes to eat the produce that we have. Like she doesn't eat it. She just bites it. So I have a bunch of gala apples sitting out and she will jump up and just leave little tooth marks in it everywhere. It's like a little staple remover. And so to prevent that, I put like cayenne pepper on the apples, and I realized I've been sniffly ever since I did that. So I played myself, Ben. But otherwise, I'm great. So back to snake things. We talked about the Barnhart line, Black Pastel, and High OD. So these are going into the run that's happening right now is part of this, right?
Yeah. So this weekend, or hopefully Monday at the latest, I'll be able to look specifically at. I'll for sure work on people's paid tests first, but on Monday I hope to be looking at the Barnhart line Black Pastel and High OD stuff and analyzing that. And I think that we have either on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I think we'll be able to have Tom Barnhart on to, just like we had Wesley on last week, we'll be able to have Tom Barnhart on next week. So that'll be cool to talk about the Barnhart line and some of that history, and we'll have some results. We'll know what we see.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. I love it when we have a guest on here, so that'll be great to hear him talk about his experience with that line. And plus, I mean, hey, we love it when you come back to us with results from a research run. So this will be cool. And we've got that note at the bottom there that says also mention DG. So what can you tell us about that?
So those of you with I think we got to number 384, and I think I know 386 and 387 or 8, one or the other. So people that were just like 2 to 5 away have been messaging like the last 2 or 3 weeks, hey, when's the next one coming? And then other people as well. But yeah, they were like, there's 2 people in particular that were so close. It was Tommy and Xander. So anyway, they were so close. But yeah, so that's running on this run right now. So we should be able to get through, I think it's 480. We'll have through 480 this weekend. Once again, that'll probably take me Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, because like I said, I'll do the paid stuff first. I'll do the Barnhart and the High OD, and then the free DG stuff. That'll all be after I get all the paid tests done, analyzed, and reported. So yeah, we'll have a whole bunch more free DG data available, and then I think there's only one more run after that. I think we got to like 550 or something like that, 550 something. So we'll have finally, the very last run, probably sometime in March, we will have finally gone through all of them once. And then in March, April, May, I'll go back through and fill in. People have asked, if I'm missing a DGC or a DGB result or something like that. So in March and April, that's when I'll start going back through and filling some of them in where we have missing data. So it's all coming. It's a lot of samples, so over 550, and it's taken quite a bit of time and money on our side too. I know you all have had to be really patient, but we're getting there.
Yeah, that's great. I know it's hard balancing. You guys have been running a balancing act between research runs, paid runs, and also figuring out the free DG stuff, which is a lot. But it's I think you've been doing good.
Switching every fast tests as well.
Yes, exactly. You've been you haven't slept very much, but I think you've been doing good.
I was up till 4 a.m. last night. That's
part of why we're here on Wednesday instead of Tuesday, but that's okay.
Yeah. I was
getting it done.
Through. If we had paused to record yesterday, I would have had to do an all-nighter last night. So I'm glad I got to sleep 3 or 4 hours. So
that's good, definitely. So we have something exciting going on over at someone that we're sponsoring at Leviathan Snakes, or we are sponsoring Leviathan Snakes. And they're doing a 5,000 subscriber giveaway over on their YouTube channel. The video dropped like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours ago as of recording. And basically they're giving through us, they are doing a giveaway for the fast testing that we've been doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I think they said they're gonna have another video next week.
Yeah.
And you need to comment there, and then they'll pick from the comments, and then you have to comment again with that same account and say, "Hey, I won," and then that's when is that right, Kayla?
I think so. I was able to go through it real quick before we came on to record here, but essentially what you're doing is you're dropping a comment, 2-day shed test with RGI underneath this video that I took a screen cap from. It's called Before You Get Out of the Reptile Hobby. Or just the first video on their channel when you go to it. So if you do that, next week they're going to put in the drawing, pull up the names of the winners. And then if I'm remembering this correctly, then you can post, hey, my name was drawn. And then they'll get with you to get it. Like they're basically making sure that it's somebody who is actually like a person following these videos and not somebody just like botting the comments, I guess, which is a good thing because we want these to go to real people. So definitely go give them some love and some subscribers. We love working with Leviathan Snakes.
They have beautiful production value on their YouTube videos. It's
yes,
awesome.
They do. I mean, heck, they put out a documentary like a month or two ago that was great. So they're very cool people. And love to do this with them. So,
yes.
Let's see. So speaking of fast testing, we now officially have 6 of them running. Do you want to talk about that then?
Results, the Clown, DG, and VPI Xanthic people have already been getting those fast results since the middle of January. But the first Pied, Puzzle, and Sunset samples, those results will go out probably on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So yeah, if you send in sheds over the next few days, you'll get those results then. So to get them in that fast test timing, we're kind of saying if we get them like Friday, Saturday, or Monday, then you'll get those real quick. You should have results on Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, probably. So,
awesome.
But then after that, all 6 of those will be going. I also have a chance that I'll have hypo ready as well. So there might be 7. But if it's not ready next week, hypo and then genetic stripe, the yellow belly complex, and 2 or 3 others, those will all come on like another week or 2 after that. So I think we mentioned before, we're trying to have 8 to 10 more by the end of February, and we're still looking good for that. So we had the 3 by the end of February. We should have 12, 14, somewhere in there, and then give us another month, and hopefully we'll have the majority, if not all of them. So
That's great. I don't know what Sarah's putting in your coffee to make you put all these out so fast, but she's doing great.
well, Sean, I was talking on the phone with Sean yesterday. He's like,
yeah.
keep in mind, that's when I'm in the middle of setting up this really big run. He's like,
Mhm.
dude, I can hear it in your voice. You need to sleep more. Make sure once you get this big run going that you get some sleep. So one of these days, I'm going to have to like do a no working today and turn
Yes.
off my phone and just go into a cave and pass out.
Hey, that's important.
It is coming. I can feel it. I'll need to have a day or two like that.
Good. Yeah, definitely take care of yourself. We will be happy as a clam for quite a while with all these fast tests. So,
But I mean, sincerely for me, this is what I've wanted to do since 2011. And so this is like a dream come true. This last year or about year and a half, I've been able to really focus on this has been really awesome. And it's again to all of you sending sheds in and buying tests. We were hoping this would be helpful, and it looks like it is. And so the no sleep, I'm very happily not sleeping, and you and my wife will at least you get to do what you're excited about doing, you know. And like I'll be up till 4, but I'll be smiling while I'm doing it. But
it's different when it's a passion project.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But after enough days like that, I can feel sometime in the next week I am gonna have to pass out for a day or two.
Definitely, you've earned it. With that being said, we do have another thing we've had a lot of questions about are these bulk discounts that we've had. So Sean's answered a lot of questions about these, and so we decided, hey, why don't we take one of the nice answers from Sean and break it down into some visuals for you. So here we have those for you. Do you want to take this one, Ben, or do you want me to?
Yeah. So right now on Morph Market, and I believe Clutch will have something similar soon. They're doing a really big update. That's actually today's February 7th. I think in the next either today or the next couple of days, they're going to have a bunch of updates on Clutch.
Yeah.
So yeah, this kind of stuff will be coming to Clutch very soon. But on Morph Market, if you order 10 to 49 tests, so it doesn't matter if it's like if you have 5 animals and you get 2 tests on each one, like you're testing for pied and clown on 5 animals, that's 10 tests. You get a 10% discount. And if you have 50 plus, then you get a 15% discount. And what Sean mentioned, if you're doing way more than 50, definitely reach out to us and we might be able to do something better for you, especially if, like we said from the beginning, the slower months right now where we don't have as many. We do still have a lot of orders coming in, which we're very thankful for. But I know no matter how many we have coming in right now, we're going to have even more in the summer. So this is a really good time to talk to us about volume and quantity or bulk discounting. Especially if you're going to have more than 50, way more than 50, reach out to Sean specifically, and he'll be able to tell you especially once he knows what kind of tests you're doing. We might do even better than this 15% off.
And don't forget that you can actually order these well in advance. We have people who order like a whole bunch of tests and like just have it ready to go for when they have clutches 6 months later or however long. So you have options and flexibility here. We're not going to require you to place it like right then as soon as you pay for it. So here's a little breakdown of it. Say if you have 5 animals that you're getting 2 single gene tests on, so 10 tests total with your 5 animals. Your first gene is going to be $65. The second is $25. That's normally how we, which is just our usual deal. So far you have $90 per animal. And then if you do that for all 5 animals, then you're going to get an additional 10% bulk discount because like that last slide said, that's 10 genetic tests. So you're actually able to stack these discounts with us. And then the last slide, Ben, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So it boils down to if you have 5 animals, you do 2 tests on each one. Like my example earlier, if you're doing clown and pied test on 5 animals, it ends up being about $40 per test after you get the 10%. So So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. And
Yep.
then when we were coming up with that math, we also wanted to point out, obviously, the best deal per test, if you're interested in knowing anything your animal may have, is obviously the 22 panel that we have right now. When you do that, it's less than $5.50 a test, because for all 22 that we have part of that panel right now, that's only $120.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
feel free to let us know in the comments if you think it would be good for us to keep the 22 gene panel and maybe have like a 30 gene panel. So we have like a 20 and a 30, 22 and then a 30, or if we just up it to a 30. Obviously, if we have 30, so if we add in Blue-Eyed Lucy complex, puzzle, and Hurricane, all of our new ones that aren't on the panel right now, I think that would put us to 30. Let us know if, obviously that price is going to have to be a little higher at least. But yeah, let us know if you think it'd be good to keep the 22 panel and have a 30 as well, or just go to a 30 and not have that 22 be available anymore. Let us know what you think. But we are also working towards being able to have a custom picked panel where you can pick 2, 3, 4, maybe even up to 5, especially once they're all on fast testing. And that way you could pick up to 5, order them, and then once they get to us, you'd have your results within 2 days. So that's what we're working toward. But yeah, definitely let us know in the comments, whether it's on here or social media. We definitely listen to that, and our vendors as well listen to that. And we want to make it, especially as we're getting closer to when babies start hatching out, we want to make the best customer experience for you and have our throughput ramped up to where we'll be able to keep all of these going with 1 to 2 day turnaround for y'all.
Definitely. Oh man, that's going to be fun when we're doing all these fast tests during hatchling season. So that'll be really good. Speaking of passion projects, though, we wanted to bring back our one of our segments for why we do this, or why I do this. This is where people will tell us what makes the reptile hobby worthwhile for them. And so if you want to send us your own story for why you do this at some point, you can comment on our social media to tell us, or you can send it to our email, raregeneticssocial@gmail.com, whether it's in video or story form. And this is just what we do to remind ourselves what makes this hobby so worthwhile.
Especially times like this where it's a little more difficult to sell the animals you hatch out. Maybe it's
definitely
yes. And Tom Barnhart and Wesley last week, Tom that's going to come on next week, they've been breeding for 20 years. Me as well. This is year 21 for me. So yeah, I mean, you kind of go through these ups and downs. And so I really love these, why I do this stories, because that helps bring to mind why we do this.
Definitely. So this week we have a friend of ours at Inspiration Exotics. It's Kayla. Her name is also Kayla. I don't remember what her last name was. But she commented this on Instagram, I believe. And it says, I do this because I passionately love animals and education. And because when I started breeding, I saw a lot of outdated practices, and I aspired to be an ethical, responsible example of a breeder so that new folks coming in realize there are better things, there are a better way to do things, which I think is really cool. Also, their logo is amazing. I am smitten with the ball python dragon art. And I think it's a really good sentiment. I know there's a larger push in the hobby as a whole to be as ethical with our husbandry as possible. And so I think that's cool. From new folks and old folks, it's wonderful to see, because ultimately we're here for our animals and we love them. And being the best keepers we can be is the way to go. Let's see. So that's our why I do this segment for this week. Before we call it a day, Ben, do you have anything else before we go?
The one other, I guess, quick mention. Last week after the show about High OD and Barnhart Black Pastel, Edge of Panic Ball Pythons, his Instagram, he went live and was discussing some questions that he was thinking up, and And I didn't see it till actually it was my daughter that caught he had a. She's like, Dad, there's someone that had like a 45-minute live last week after they saw your YouTube video. You should talk to him. And so
Oh,
I love seeing people, talking about. I think he had a couple of people on at one point as well, and talking about
cool.
questions they have about reptile genetics. So yeah, I'm going to go on there tonight, Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 6:30 where he's at in California. So 6:30
Yeah.
Pacific. So yeah, if you got Instagram, we'll be live on there, and love to have other questions. It's a little difficult for me after thinking about genetics the last 25 years, studying it, to sometimes think the kinds of questions other people would have. So it's a really good experience for me too, to understand what kinds of questions other people have about it. And so I look forward to that as well.
Yeah. All right. We'll be sure to share that on our social media as well. That way folks can tune in tonight. And yeah, I guess we'll call that a wrap for today. And thanks everybody for watching, whether you're here right after, like right as we post it, or after months later you're checking out our videos. We appreciate it all. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, and a like. It really helps us in the algorithm, and helps us do what we do. So thanks guys, and we'll see you next week. Outro in 3, 2, 1.